Greetings out there, it's David Duford from BuyLifeInsuranceForBurial.com, and today what we're going to talk about is the difference between final expense whole life insurance plans, the most popular way to pay for a burial, and the difference between a pre-need life insurance plan from which you buy from the funeral home. The goal of today's talk is to talk about the very nuts and bolts of each plan, not get too detailed with, but to present to you which plan would best suit you considering the circumstances financially that you're in. So first of all, let me talk about final expense plans. Final expense plans typically are whole life insurance, meaning the rates never go up, the coverage never goes down, and the coverage never cancels because of age or health. Sometimes whole life final expense plans can either cover you immediately with coverage or make you wait 2 years before the full coverage is in effect. That depends on how you answer your health questions and the outcome of looking at your health history and prescription medications. The benefit to using whole life insurance is that we can design a plan from as low as $1,000 all the way up to $50,000. You just tell how much you want, and what gets paid off can be used to pay for any final expenses. It will cover anything that you would buy at a funeral home, and then anything left over is left to your survivors. And also the premiums tend to be pretty competitive. Now, a pre-need plan is something specifically sold by funeral directors at the funeral home. A pre-need plan is designed to pay for whatever you want in your funeral specifically, with the beneficiary named as the funeral home. You select the items you want, they quote you on a price, and the pre-need plan is designed to take the premiums you pay and adjust for inflation as time goes on to pay for the cost of those items as the inflationary pressures on costs drive up funeral expenses. To put it shortly, a pre-need plan is designed to make you not have to worry about a casket going from $2,000 today to $4,000 20 years from now if you pass away in 20 years from now. The idea behind it is just you pay these premiums, you have this covered, and the policy takes care of any kind of inflation on the cost of the goods that you're buying. The reason a pre-need plan is good is because it's usually a limited pay plan. You don't have to pay the plan the rest of your life. You simply just have to pay it for a 3, 5, 7, or 10-year period. You can even pay a lump sum if you want, and then the company, the insurer, usually gives you a multiple of that amount so that you're done with it. You don't have to make a payment. The downside to a pre-need plan is that if you are budget sensitive, if you can't afford a large premium, you're probably not going to want to do a pre-need plan. You'll pay into it a large amount for a long time, and you'll probably run into the situation where you can't afford paying it down the line, and you may not be able to keep the coverage you have. This is particularly important for people who are on a very fixed income that don't have the means necessary to keep up with $100, $150 a month payments, especially if there's a couple involved, because it does get pricey. Other reason is you want to stay away from that in that low premium, or I should say low budget situation, is if a lot of times people with low incomes have to take the longer payout period where the person pays into it for a very long time and actually pays a tremendous amount more than the amount of coverage that they're approved for. For example, I've seen many plans where the funeral death benefit's $8,000, and it will cover for inflation, of course, but the total premium paid in over a 10-year period is double that, $15,000, $16,000. So they're paying double for what it is that they're written up today. They are insured, though, and if they die before that, it will pay. So it's not like it's a bad thing. It's just a costly thing. And if a guy is on a limited income, you're going to be hard-pressed to be able to afford that. So really, in my experience as a life insurance agent, this has come down to is that the people who gravitate toward pre-need plans tend to have a little bit more money, a little bit more savings, and don't like the idea of a lifetime payment. They just want to handle it and pay it off and go to the funeral home that their families have always gone to and take care of it. And they've got the financial capacity to do so. In those situations, that's right for them. But where it's not right is if you're on a very limited income, if you're afraid that committing yourself for 10 years into a plan is not right for you, that you may lapse it if, God forbid, your money has to go somewhere else and you have to give up on the plan. What you really need is something that's going to come in less expensive. Many times what this always comes down to is just price. And many times you can get a life insurance plan through a final expense company that gives you the same amount of coverage as a pre-need plan for a third of the cost, depending on your health and your age and some other various factors. But the point is, the conclusion of this video is that if you're out there in the market looking for a way to pay for your burial, the pre-need plans are great as long as you can afford them. If I had a lot of money and I was in my 60s and I was thinking ahead to passing, I would go to the pre-need. If I was disabled, retired, not making much money, maybe $800,000-$900,000 a month between myself and then same for my spouse, I would not fool that direction. I've seen it time and again. People lose their plans because they're paying too much into it. I would get an affordable final expense whole life plan that would easily cover that. If you fit into that group where money is a concern and it's not growing on trees, and you're looking for just something to pay for your final expenses, be it a cremation, a burial, or even just leaving some money behind, you should contact me at buylifeinsuranceforburial.com. I shop the major final expense companies out there and help my clients find the best price coverage to take care of their final expenses through an affordable final expense life insurance plan. I want to thank you for your time and listening to this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Make sure you like my video if you can, and also subscribe to my videos, or my YouTube channel if you'd like to see more videos like this. And I want to thank you again for listening. Take care.